Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe.
Dead souls returning to get even with the living. Have you ever wondered what happens to the souls of the departed? Is there a possibility that they could come back to our world, seeking revenge or unfinished business? The concept of dead souls returning has fascinated and haunted humanity for centuries. In folklore, literature, and even modern-day accounts, we find numerous tales of restless spirits making their presence known. The belief in the return of dead souls can be traced back to ancient civilizations such as Egypt and Mesopotamia. These cultures held strong beliefs in an afterlife and the existence of spirits that could interact with the living. They believed that these souls had unfinished tasks or unresolved issues that compelled them to return. Throughout history, different cultures have developed their own interpretations and explanations for this phenomenon. In some traditions, it is believed that these returning spirits are seeking justice or retribution for wrongs done to them during their lifetime. They may appear as apparitions or poltergeists, causing disturbances in their quest for vengeance. In other cases, it is believed that these wandering souls are trapped between worlds due to tragic circumstances surrounding their death. They may be unable to move on until they find closure or receive forgiveness from those they left behind. One famous example comes from Japanese folklore, the legend of Yurei. These vengeful spirits are said to have died under extreme circumstances such as murder or suicide, leaving behind deep resentment and anger. Yurei seek revenge on those who wronged them in life by haunting them relentlessly. Similarly, Western culture has its own share of ghostly encounters and stories about restless spirits returning from beyond the grave. From haunted houses with mysterious footsteps echoing through empty hallways to sightings of apparitions in old cemeteries, these tales capture our imagination and fuel our fascination with the supernatural. Yurei seek revenge on those who wronged them in life by haunting them relentlessly. Similarly, Western culture has its own share of ghostly encounters and stories about restless spirits returning from beyond the grave. From haunted houses with mysterious footsteps echoing through empty hallways to sightings of apparitions in old cemeteries, these tales capture our imagination and fuel our fascination with the supernatural. Even today, reports continue to surface about encounters with deceased loved ones appearing before family members or friends. These experiences, often referred to as visitations, provide comfort and closure to those left behind, reaffirming the belief that death is not the end. While skeptics may dismiss these accounts as mere superstition or hallucinations, the phenomenon of dead souls returning remains a captivating subject of study for paranormal researchers and enthusiasts alike. Exploring these stories allows us to delve into the complexities of life and death, offering glimpses into a world beyond our own. Have you ever wondered if the stories of vengeful ghosts seeking retribution from the living are just products of our imagination or if there is any truth behind them? Throughout history, there have been numerous accounts of dead souls returning to get even with those who wronged them. These tales, passed down through generations, often send shivers down our spines and leave us questioning the existence of an afterlife. One such account dates back to ancient Egypt, where it was believed that deceased pharaohs had the power to haunt their enemies even in death. The concept of Ka, an individual's life force or soul, was thought to continue its existence beyond the grave. If a pharaoh felt betrayed or wronged during their lifetime, their Ka would seek vengeance on those responsible. These ghostly apparitions were said to bring misfortune and suffering upon their targets until justice was served. Moving forward in time, we find ourselves in medieval Europe where tales of vengeful spirits abound. In these dark times, people believed that restless souls could not find peace until they had settled unfinished business or avenged their untimely demise. One popular story tells of a young woman who was accused of witchcraft and burned at the stake unjustly. Legend has it that her spirit returned from beyond the grave to torment her accusers with haunting visions and unexplained phenomena. One popular story tells of a young woman who was accused of witchcraft and burned at the stake unjustly. Legend has it that her spirit returned from beyond the grave to torment her accusers with haunting visions and unexplained phenomena. Fast forward to more recent times, and we encounter stories from various cultures around the world about ghostly revenge taking place in modern settings. In Japan, for example, there is a well known legend called The Grudge, which revolves around a cursed house haunted by vengeful spirits seeking retaliation for past grievances. This chilling tale has spawned numerous movies and has become ingrained in popular culture. But what compels these departed souls to return? Is it simply a desire for justice or something more sinister at play? Some believe that intense emotions such as anger, betrayal, or a sense of unfinished business can tether a spirit to the earthly realm. These emotions act as an anchor, preventing them from moving on to the afterlife and driving them to seek vengeance against those who wronged them. While these accounts may seem like mere folklore or scary bedtime stories, they offer a glimpse into the human fascination with the supernatural and our innate desire for justice. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there is no denying that tales of ghostly vengeance have captivated our imaginations throughout history. Have you ever heard of the eerie tales that surround the return of restless spirits? These cultural beliefs and legends speak of a phenomenon where the souls of the dead come back to seek vengeance or unfinished business with the living. It's a concept that has fascinated and terrified people for centuries, transcending different cultures and societies. In many cultures around the world, there is a deep, rooted belief in an afterlife, where souls continue to exist even after death. But what happens when these souls are unable to find peace? According to various legends and folklore, they may return as vengeful spirits, seeking retribution for wrongs done to them during their lifetime. One such legend comes from Japan, where it is believed that certain spirits called yurei can return from beyond the grave. These yurei are said to be filled with anger and resentment, often targeting those who have wronged them in life. They are depicted as pale figures dressed in white robes, with long black hair obscuring their faces, an image that has become synonymous with Japanese horror. Similarly, in Mexican folklore, there is a belief in La Llorona, the weeping woman. Legend has it that La Llorona was once a woman who drowned her children out of jealousy or despair. Now condemned to wander riversides and other watery places for eternity, she seeks out other children to replace her own lost ones. Her mournful cries are said to instill fear into anyone who hears them. These stories may seem like mere superstition or fairy tales at first glance. However, they reflect something deeper within our collective psyche. The idea of restless spirits returning from beyond the grave taps into our primal fears, fear of death itself and fear of unresolved issues haunting us even after we're gone. But why do these legends persist across different cultures? Perhaps it's because they serve as cautionary tales about the consequences of our actions in life. They remind us that our deeds can have lasting effects, even after we're gone. They urge us to treat others with kindness and respect, lest we become the subject of a vengeful spirit's wrath. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, these legends and cultural beliefs offer a fascinating glimpse into the human imagination and our quest for answers about what lies beyond death. They serve as a reminder that there is still much about the world, both seen and unseen, that we have yet to understand. Haunted locations. Where souls seek revenge. Have you ever wondered if the spirits of the dead can come back to seek revenge on the living? It may sound like something out of a horror movie, but there are countless stories and legends that suggest otherwise. Across the world, there are haunted locations where souls are said to linger, seeking retribution for past wrongs. One such place is the infamous Tower of London in England. With its long and bloody history, it's no surprise that it has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted places on Earth. The tower has witnessed numerous executions, political intrigue, and even torture throughout its existence. It is believed that some of these tormented souls still haunt its ancient walls, and even torture throughout its existence. It is believed that some of these tormented souls still haunt its ancient walls. Amongst these restless spirits is said to be Anne Boleyn, the ill-fated second wife of King Henry VIII. She was accused of adultery and treason and met her tragic end at the Tower in 1536. Visitors have reported seeing her ghostly figure wandering through various parts of the tower or standing near her execution site. Another haunting tale comes from Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This once notorious prison housed some of America's most dangerous criminals during its operation from 1829 to 1971. The harsh conditions and solitary confinement endured by inmates led to many deaths within its walls. Visitors to Eastern State Penitentiary have reported eerie encounters with apparitions and strange phenomena throughout their visitations. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures lurking in cell blocks or heard disembodied voices whispering in their ears. Moving across continents, we find ourselves in Japan at Aokigahara Forest, also known as the Suicide Forest. Located at the base of Mount Fuji, this dense woodland has become infamous for being a popular site for suicides over many years. The forest holds an air of darkness and despair that seems almost palpable when walking through its twisted pathways. It is believed that the tormented souls of those who took their own lives still haunt this hauntingly beautiful forest. Visitors have reported hearing whispers in the wind and feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness and despair. These are just a few examples of haunted locations where souls are said to seek revenge or continue to suffer from past traumas. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the allure and intrigue surrounding these places. Exploring these haunted sites can be a thrilling experience for those brave enough to venture into the unknown. Have you ever wondered what happens to the souls of the deceased? According to various beliefs and folklore, some souls may not find peace in the afterlife. These restless spirits are said to linger on earth, harboring unresolved grudges and seeking retribution from the living. This intriguing concept has been a recurring theme in many cultures around the world, captivating our imagination and giving rise to countless ghost stories and legends. According to various beliefs and folklore, some souls may not find peace in the afterlife. These restless spirits are said to linger on earth, harboring unresolved grudges and seeking retribution from the living. This intriguing concept has been a recurring theme in many cultures around the world, captivating our imagination and giving rise to countless ghost stories and legends. The motives behind dead souls seeking revenge can be as diverse as the individuals themselves. Some believe that these vengeful spirits were wronged during their lifetime, subjected to injustice or cruelty that was left unresolved. Their desire for vengeance drives them to return from beyond the grave, haunting those who wronged them in an attempt to right the wrongs inflicted upon them. In other cases, it is believed that unfinished business or unfulfilled desires can keep a soul tethered to this world. These lingering spirits may have left behind important tasks or goals they were unable to accomplish before passing away. Fueled by their unmet aspirations, they seek solace by interfering with the lives of those who still have a chance at fulfilling their dreams. Furthermore, some legends suggest that certain individuals possess such strong emotions at the time of their death that it binds their soul indefinitely. Whether it be overwhelming anger, grief, or betrayal, these intense feelings prevent them from finding peace in death and drive them towards revenge against those they perceive as responsible for their suffering. Interestingly enough, cultural variations exist when it comes to how these restless spirits manifest themselves. In some cultures like Japan's folklore surrounding yurei, ghosts, these entities are often depicted as pale figures wearing white burial robes with long black hair obscuring their faces, an eerie sight indeed. Other cultures portray vengeful ghosts as translucent apparitions capable of manipulating objects or emitting bone-chilling cries. Have you ever wondered what happens to us after we die? Is there an afterlife, or do we simply cease to exist? These questions have haunted humanity for centuries, and while science may provide some logical explanations, the realm of the supernatural remains shrouded in mystery. One particular aspect of the supernatural that has captured our collective imagination is the idea of dead souls returning to seek vengeance on the living. These questions have haunted humanity for centuries, and while science may provide some logical explanations, the realm of the supernatural remains shrouded in mystery. One particular aspect of the supernatural that has captured our collective imagination is the idea of dead souls returning to seek vengeance on the living. In folklore and popular culture, we often encounter stories of restless spirits who refuse to move on from this world. These entities are believed to harbor deep resentment and unfinished business that keeps them tethered to our plane of existence. Whether it be a murder victim seeking justice or a betrayed lover seeking revenge, these tormented souls are said to haunt those who wronged them in life. Supernatural encounters with vengeful spirits have been reported throughout history and across different cultures. While skeptics dismiss these accounts as mere figments of imagination or hallucinations, those who have experienced such encounters firsthand tell a different story. One chilling tale comes from an elderly woman named Margaret who claims she was visited by her deceased husband's ghost. According to Margaret, her husband had always been a jealous man during their marriage. Even after his death, he continued his possessive behavior by appearing before Margaret at night and accusing her of infidelity. The ghostly visits left Margaret terrified and emotionally drained until she sought help from a paranormal investigator. Another spine-tingling account comes from Mark, a construction worker who stumbled upon an old abandoned house while working on a renovation project. As soon as Mark entered the house, he felt an overwhelming sense of dread wash over him. Strange occurrences began happening around him, objects moving on their own accord and eerie whispers echoing through empty hallways. Eventually, Mark discovered that the house was once owned by a notorious gangster who had been murdered there decades ago. It seemed that his spirit still lingered within the walls, seeking retribution for his untimely demise. These first-hand stories of supernatural encounters with vengeful spirits highlight the enduring fascination we have with life beyond death. Whether these encounters are real or simply products of our imagination, they tap into our primal fears and curiosity about what lies beyond the veil of mortality. Whether these encounters are real or simply products of our imagination, they tap into our primal fears and curiosity about what lies beyond the veil of mortality. While science may never provide concrete answers to the existence of vengeful spirits, these stories serve as a reminder that there is still much we don't understand about the mysteries of life and death. The supernatural world continues to captivate us, offering a glimpse into a realm where the living and dead intersect in ways that defy rational explanation. Have you ever wondered what happens to us after we die? Is there an afterlife, or do we simply cease to exist? These questions have puzzled humanity for centuries, leading to the rise of paranormal investigations and the exploration of the supernatural. One particular phenomenon that has captivated the imaginations of many is spirit revenge, the idea that deceased souls may return to seek vengeance on the living. In popular culture, we often see depictions of vengeful spirits wreaking havoc on those who wronged them in life. From horror movies to ghost stories passed down through generations, tales of spirits seeking revenge have become a staple in our collective consciousness. But is there any truth behind these chilling accounts? Paranormal investigators and researchers delve into this mysterious realm in an attempt to uncover evidence and shed light on these enigmatic occurrences. They employ various methods such as electronic voice phenomena, EVP, recordings, thermal imaging cameras, and electromagnetic field detectors to capture any possible signs of spiritual activity. One theory suggests that spirits may seek revenge if they were wronged or harmed during their time on Earth. It is believed that intense emotions like anger or resentment can tether a soul to our world even after death, driving them towards retribution against those who caused them pain. These vengeful entities are said to be trapped between realms, neither fully alive nor completely at rest. But how can we differentiate between genuine spirit revenge and mere coincidence or imagination? Skeptics argue that most paranormal encounters can be explained by natural phenomena or psychological factors. They propose that our minds are prone to creating patterns where none exist and attributing meaning where it may not truly exist. Skeptics argue that most paranormal encounters can be explained by natural phenomena or psychological factors. They propose that our minds are prone to creating patterns where none exist and attributing meaning where it may not truly exist. Nevertheless, countless individuals claim personal experiences with spirit revenge, eerie encounters that defy rational explanation. Tales range from objects moving inexplicably to unexplained noises in supposedly empty rooms. While skeptics dismiss these accounts as mere superstition or overactive imaginations, believers find solace in the validation of their beliefs. Paranormal investigations continue to push the boundaries of our understanding, seeking evidence to support or debunk claims of spirit revenge. These explorations into the unknown offer a glimpse into a world beyond our comprehension, where the line between reality and the supernatural blurs. Have you ever wondered what happens to the souls of the departed? Is there a connection between the living and the dead that goes beyond what we can perceive with our senses? In many cultures and belief systems, there is a notion that the spirits of the deceased can return to interact with the living. These returning souls are often depicted as seeking vengeance or resolution for unfinished business. This concept of dead souls returning to get even with the living has been explored in various forms of literature, movies, and folklore. From ghost stories passed down through generations to modern-day horror films, this idea has captivated our imaginations for centuries. One popular belief surrounding this phenomenon is that these vengeful spirits are trapped in a state of limbo, unable to move on until they have fulfilled their purpose or found closure. They may have unresolved conflicts or unfulfilled desires that keep them tied to our realm. This connection between the living and the dead is often referred to as the veil, symbolizing an invisible barrier between two worlds. In some cases, these returning souls may seek justice for wrongs committed against them during their lifetime. They may appear as apparitions or poltergeists, causing disturbances or communicating their grievances through mediums or paranormal investigators. These encounters can be both terrifying and intriguing, leaving us questioning whether there is indeed life after death. These returning souls may seek justice for wrongs committed against them during their lifetime. They may appear as apparitions or poltergeists, causing disturbances or communicating their grievances through mediums or paranormal investigators. These encounters can be both terrifying and intriguing, leaving us questioning whether there is indeed life after death. While science has yet to provide concrete evidence for such phenomena, countless personal accounts and paranormal experiences continue to fuel our fascination with this topic. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, it's undeniable that tales of restless spirits seeking revenge have become deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. From classic literary works like Shakespeare's Hamlet to modern horror franchises like the Conjuring series, stories about vengeful ghosts remind us of our own mortality and force us to confront questions about what lies beyond death's door. They serve as cautionary tales about unresolved conflicts and unaddressed emotions that could haunt us long after we're gone. Have you ever wondered what happens to the souls of the departed? Is there a way for them to communicate with the living? These questions have intrigued humanity for centuries, leading to the rise of mediums and spirit communication. In this part of our article, we will explore the fascinating world of mediums and their ability to connect with spirits from beyond. Mediumship is a practice that has been around for ages, dating back to ancient civilizations. It involves individuals who claim to have the ability to communicate with spirits or entities from another realm. These gifted individuals, known as mediums or psychics, act as intermediaries between the living and the dead. The concept behind mediumship is based on the belief that when a person dies, their soul continues to exist in another dimension or plane of existence. Mediums use various techniques and methods such as clairvoyance, clear seeing, clairaudience, clear hearing, or clairsentience, clear feeling, to establish contact with these spirits. One common method used by mediums is known as channeling. During a session, a medium enters into an altered state of consciousness and allows themselves to be a vessel through which spirits can communicate. The medium may speak in different voices or languages, conveying messages from those who have passed away. A medium enters into an altered state of consciousness and allows themselves to be a vessel through which spirits can communicate. The medium may speak in different voices or languages, conveying messages from those who have passed away. Another technique employed by mediums is called automatic writing. In this practice, they allow themselves to be guided by unseen forces while holding a pen or pencil on paper. Through this process, messages from spirits are supposedly channeled onto the page without conscious control from the medium. Skeptics often question whether these experiences are genuine or merely tricks played by charlatans seeking attention or profit. However, there are numerous accounts throughout history that suggest otherwise. Many people claim to have received accurate information and validations during sessions with reputable mediums that could not be explained through ordinary means. While some seek solace in connecting with loved ones who have passed away through mediums' assistance, others turn to them for guidance and answers to life's pressing questions. Mediumship has been used to gain insight into the future, receive advice on important decisions, or even solve mysteries surrounding unsolved crimes. It is important to note that not all mediums are created equal. Just as in any profession, there are those who genuinely possess the gift of mediumship and others who may be fraudulent. It is essential to approach this realm with an open mind while exercising discernment and caution. Have you ever heard a spine-chilling tale of vengeful spirits returning from beyond the grave to seek revenge on the living? These eerie stories have been passed down through generations, captivating our imaginations and making us question the existence of supernatural forces. While it's easy to dismiss such tales as mere folklore, there are those who believe in the possibility of dead souls seeking retribution. Protecting oneself against vengeful spirits may seem like an impossible task, but there are various measures that some people take to safeguard themselves from these otherworldly entities. One popular method is to create a protective barrier around one's home using certain objects and rituals. One such object believed to ward off vengeful spirits is salt. Salt has long been associated with purification and protection in many cultures. Sprinkling salt around doorways and windows is thought to create a barrier that prevents malevolent spirits from entering one's home. It acts as a physical deterrent, creating an invisible shield against their wrath. One popular method is to create a protective barrier around one's home using certain objects and rituals. One such object believed to ward off vengeful spirits is salt. Salt has long been associated with purification and protection in many cultures. Sprinkling salt around doorways and windows is thought to create a barrier that prevents malevolent spirits from entering one's home. It acts as a physical deterrent, creating an invisible shield against their wrath. Another common protective measure involves burning sage or other herbs known for their cleansing properties. This practice, known as smudging, is believed to clear negative energy and drive away unwanted entities. By lighting dried sage leaves and allowing the smoke to permeate every corner of a space, individuals hope to cleanse their surroundings and repel any lingering vengeful spirits. In addition to physical measures, some individuals turn towards spiritual practices for protection against vengeful souls. Praying or reciting mantras specific to one's beliefs can provide comfort and reassurance during times of perceived spiritual threat. These rituals are often performed with utmost faith in the power of divine intervention. It's important not only for individuals but also communities affected by rumors or legends surrounding vengeful spirits should come together in support rather than succumbing fearfully alone. Sharing experiences can help validate feelings while providing solace knowing others have faced similar situations. While these protective measures may bring a sense of security to those who believe in them, it's crucial to remember that the existence of vengeful spirits is still a topic of debate. Skeptics argue that these stories are simply products of human imagination and superstition, with no concrete evidence to support their claims. Whether you choose to believe in the existence of vengeful spirits or not, it's undeniable that these tales have left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. They serve as cautionary tales, reminding us to treat others with kindness and respect during our time on this earthly plane. Have you ever wondered what happens to the souls of the departed? According to folklore and legends, some believe that restless spirits may return to seek vengeance or find closure with the living. These stories of dead souls returning are found in various cultures around the world, each with their own unique beliefs and practices. According to folklore and legends, some believe that restless spirits may return to seek vengeance or find closure with the living. These stories of dead souls returning are found in various cultures around the world, each with their own unique beliefs and practices. In many cultures, the concept of redemption and reconciliation plays a significant role in finding closure for restless souls. The idea is that these spirits are trapped between worlds, unable to move on until they have resolved any unfinished business or unresolved conflicts from their earthly lives. One common belief is that these restless spirits may seek revenge on those who wrong them in life. It is said that they can haunt their enemies, causing misfortune and suffering until justice is served. This notion serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the importance of treating others with kindness and respect during our time on earth. However, not all encounters with restless spirits are filled with malice. Some believe that these wandering souls may also return seeking reconciliation and forgiveness. They long for peace and closure before they can move on to the afterlife. In certain cultures, rituals and ceremonies are performed to help facilitate this process of redemption and reconciliation. These practices often involve offering prayers or performing acts of atonement on behalf of both the living and the dead. by acknowledging past wrongs or grievances. It is believed that both parties can find solace and forgiveness. While tales of vengeful spirits may seem like nothing more than superstition or folklore, they serve as a reminder that unresolved conflicts can have lasting consequences even beyond death. Whether it's seeking revenge or longing for reconciliation, these stories highlight our innate desire for closure in all aspects of life. Have you ever heard stories about dead souls returning from the afterlife to seek revenge on the living? It's a concept that has captivated human imagination for centuries, fueling countless ghost stories and horror movies. But is there any truth behind these tales, or are they simply products of our overactive imaginations? In reality, the idea of dead souls seeking revenge is nothing more than a myth. There is no scientific evidence to support the existence of ghosts or spirits that can interact with the physical world. While many people claim to have had supernatural experiences or encounters with the paranormal, these anecdotes are often based on personal beliefs rather than concrete proof. In reality, the idea of dead souls seeking revenge is nothing more than a myth. There is no scientific evidence to support the existence of ghosts or spirits that can interact with the physical world. While many people claim to have had supernatural experiences or encounters with the paranormal, these anecdotes are often based on personal beliefs rather than concrete proof. So why do so many cultures around the world have legends and folklore about vengeful spirits? One possible explanation lies in our innate fear of death and what lies beyond it. The unknown can be a terrifying prospect, and our minds often try to make sense of it by creating stories and myths that provide some semblance of order. Another factor contributing to these tales is our tendency to attribute unexplained events or phenomena to supernatural causes. When faced with something we cannot easily explain, it's natural for us to seek answers in the realm of magic or spirituality. Furthermore, popular culture plays a significant role in perpetuating these misconceptions about dead souls seeking revenge. Movies, books, and television shows often depict ghosts as malevolent beings bent on wreaking havoc upon the living. These fictional portrayals not only entertain us but also shape our perceptions of what ghosts are supposed to be like. But if dead souls don't come back for revenge, then what happens after we die? Well, that's a question that has puzzled philosophers and theologians for centuries. Different religions offer various explanations ranging from reincarnation to an eternal afterlife in heaven or hell. Ultimately, though, death remains one of life's greatest mysteries, one that we may never fully understand while we're still alive. As humans, we are naturally curious about what happens after we die, and it's this curiosity that gives rise to stories and legends about dead souls seeking revenge. So the next time you hear a ghost story or watch a horror movie featuring vengeful spirits, remember that it's all just fiction. While these tales may be entertaining, they are not grounded in reality. Dead souls do not come back to haunt the living or seek revenge for past grievances. Have you ever felt a chill run down your spine when looking into a mirror, as if someone else was staring back at you? The concept of the shadow self, or the darker side of our personality, has long intrigued and captivated human imagination. In folklore and literature, this shadow self often takes on a life of its own, seeking vengeance against the living. The concept of the shadow self, or the darker side of our personality, has long intrigued and captivated human imagination. In folklore and literature, this shadow self often takes on a life of its own, seeking vengeance against the living. Tales of spirit retribution have been passed down through generations, each story adding to the mystique and fear surrounding these otherworldly beings. These tales depict dead souls returning from beyond the grave to settle unfinished business or seek revenge upon those who wronged them in life. In many cultures around the world, there is a belief that mirrors hold power over our souls. They are said to be portals through which spirits can enter our realm. The idea that these spirits can manifest themselves as mirror images adds an eerie layer to their existence. The stories vary in their details but share common themes. One such tale tells of a young woman who was betrayed by her lover and left heartbroken. Consumed by anger and despair, she took her own life in front of a mirror. Now her vengeful spirit haunts anyone who gazes into that very same mirror, forever trapped in its cold reflection. Another haunting story revolves around an artist whose talent was stolen by his jealous apprentice. Unable to bear this injustice even in death, his spirit returns as a malevolent force whenever someone tries to create art using stolen ideas or plagiarized work. These tales serve as cautionary reminders that actions have consequences, even beyond death's door. They explore themes such as guilt, remorse, justice, and redemption through supernatural means. But why do these stories continue to resonate with us? Perhaps it is because they tap into our deepest fears, the fear of being haunted by past mistakes or wrongdoings we thought were long buried. They remind us that no matter how hard we try to hide from our shadow selves, they will always find a way to resurface. In a way, these tales of spirit retribution reflect the human condition itself. We all have our own shadows, the parts of ourselves we would rather keep hidden. But just like the mirror images in these stories, they cannot be ignored or denied forever. So next time you catch a glimpse of your reflection in the mirror, take a moment to ponder what lies beyond that surface. Is there something lurking in your shadow self, waiting for its moment to seek retribution? Or perhaps it is an opportunity for self-reflection and growth, a chance to confront and make peace with those darker aspects of your being. Or perhaps it is an opportunity for self-reflection and growth, a chance to confront and make peace with those darker aspects of your being. Have you ever heard stories about dead souls returning from the afterlife to seek revenge on the living? It may sound like something straight out of a horror movie, but for some people, it's a chilling reality. The concept of spirit revenge has been ingrained in various cultures and belief systems throughout history, often associated with unresolved grievances or unfinished business. In many folklore and spiritual traditions, it is believed that when someone dies with deep resentment or anger, their soul may linger in the earthly realm seeking justice or vengeance. These vengeful spirits are said to haunt those who have wronged them during their lifetime, causing disturbances and wreaking havoc on their lives. But what drives these restless souls to return and seek retribution? It could be a sense of injustice that they carried with them into the afterlife or an inability to find peace until they have settled scores. Whatever the reason may be, understanding this phenomenon requires us to delve into the depths of human emotions and our complex relationship with death. The idea of dead souls returning for revenge taps into our primal fears, fear of death itself and fear of facing the consequences of our actions. It forces us to confront our own mortality and reflect on how we treat others while we're alive. After all, if there is a chance that our actions can come back to haunt us even after death, shouldn't we strive to live more compassionately? While these tales may seem terrifying at first glance, they also offer insights into healing and personal growth. They remind us that unresolved conflicts can have long-lasting effects not only on those directly involved but also on future generations. By embracing this unknown realm beyond death's door, we open ourselves up to exploring avenues for healing both for ourselves and those who came before us. Finding healing after spirit revenge involves acknowledging past wrongdoings or grievances while actively working towards forgiveness and reconciliation. It requires delving deep within ourselves to understand our own motivations behind our actions and the impact they may have had on others. By doing so, we can break the cycle of revenge and create a space for healing, not only for ourselves but also for the souls that may be trapped in their anger. Finding healing after spirit revenge involves acknowledging past wrongdoings or grievances while actively working towards forgiveness and reconciliation. It requires delving deep within ourselves to understand our own motivations behind our actions and the impact they may have had on others. By doing so, we can break the cycle of revenge and create a space for healing, not only for ourselves but also for the souls that may be trapped in their anger. Have a nice day. Subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day. Subscribe to the channel.
Please subscribe to the channel and watch the next video.